We have some really good ones, a little something for everyone today, whether you're into golf, new construction, city, or suburbs. We have a little bit of something for everybody today in this list, because if you're looking at, the best neighborhoods in Winston-Salem or best neighborhoods in Clemmons, you're usually going to come up with a lot of the same things, right? You're going to see in Winston-Salem, Ardmore, Sherwood Forest, Buena Vista, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not knocking any of those, but this is about neighborhoods that kind of go under the radar a little bit. They're going to be neighborhoods maybe you get a little bit more value for your money because it's a little bit, outside of the norm, or new construction with some really excellent builders. But the point of it is this is going to give some really good examples of kind of some hidden gems in the Winston-Salem and surrounding area. And this is not an exhaustive list, but what I want to do is just show some opportunities where if you're looking just outside the norm, you can find some really great spots, excellent places to live. I was coming up with this list and I was like, wow, these are some really great places. But again, it's not the end all be all. On the YouTube channel here, I have a whole playlist of neighborhoods and suburbs. And if you go on to livinginwinstonsalem.com, if you look on the neighborhoods and suburbs section there on our website, you're going to see, tons of articles about different areas to live. And also a lot of neighborhood guides, from rural towns to the more familiar neighborhoods in Winston-Salem, a lot of stuff in between. It's a really excellent resource as well. And if you need help buying or selling, my contact information is on the screen right now. You can call, email, or text. I'd be happy to help. All right, we're going to start off with a new construction neighborhood in Winston-Salem. This neighborhood is called Haynes Lake. The location of Haynes Lake is on the far west edge of Winston-Salem. It actually comes right up against Pfafftown, kind of down by the Louisville area as well, just to give you kind of an idea where it's at. But like I said, this is a new construction neighborhood. It's built by Mungo Homes. They're a really good builder. Now, they have gone through a couple different name changes. They used to be Shugart and Clayton. Warren Buffett became a really big investor in this construction company and has since kind of rebranded. They've done a lot of different things since then. But the bottom line is they're build a really quality product with some excellent features for the money. The homes in Haynes Lake are going to be priced from the high threes up into about the low 500s. And like I said, one of the things I really like about this builder in this neighborhood is they give some really good options for the money. Things like, tankless water heater or, sod in the front yard instead of just seed and straw like a lot of other builders do. They do underground irrigation system standard here. So they just do some really good options for the money here. Really nice floor plans to choose from, everything from, single story living to 2 stories. The other thing I like about this neighborhood is it has some nice amenities there. There's a clubhouse there. There's a neighborhood pool there. They're going to do some walking trails in between phase 1 and phase 2. They're just starting on phase 2 in the neighborhood right now. I have several clients that moved into this neighborhood. The builder has been excellent to work with on all of these transactions. But a couple other important things to know about this that makes this neighborhood desirable. One is the school district. It's in, a highly sought after school district. If you want to go to Reagan High School or Louisville Middle, check out this neighborhood. And like I said, it does have a Winston-Salem address. It's pretty close to Pfafftown, but it has a Winston-Salem address, but it's really simple just to shoot right down into Winston-Salem. So everything is really convenient. The location is outside of the norm of what most people look at when they're living in Winston, because it is on that far west edge, kind of near Pfafftown, which some people can rule out. But I will tell you, it's really simple just to get into Winston, to get down to a lot of different shopping, restaurants, and things like that. So Haynes Lake in Winston-Salem is a really good choice if you're looking for new construction with some amenities. All right, next one I want to talk about is existing homes. We're going to talk about Salem Glen neighborhood in Clemmons. And through this YouTube channel, I've helped hundreds of people move to the Winston-Salem area in Clemmons and things like that. And this one just kind of goes under the radar a lot for people that are thinking of moving out here. I will say that for people that are here locally, Salem Glen is pretty well known, but it does kind of go under the radar for people looking to move here for one reason or another. A couple great things about this neighborhood is this, again, mostly existing homes. This is getting to be the far south end of Clemmons down in Davidson County, and this means a couple different things that I think are key. The first thing to know about if you're down in Davidson County, if you're outside of Forsyth County, now you're still in Clemmons, but Davidson County, you're going to have much lower property taxes than if you were in Forsyth County. I was just looking when I'm about to record this, and I saw on about a $500,000 house, the property taxes on that were about $2,500 a year, so much less than you would be paying if you were in Forsyth County. But one of the key differences in that, so you're down in Davidson County, you have Davidson County taxes, you still go to all the Forsyth County schools that people really tend to love about living in the Clemmons area. So that's another nice little bonus about the Salem Glen neighborhood in Clemmons. And talking about pricing in this neighborhood, pricing starts in, generally homes go in the low 4s to the $600,000 range. That's where the bulk of the homes are, are priced at, in that $400,000 to $600,000 range. But the homes here do go all the way up to $1 million and a little above that. So Salem Glen in Clemmons is primarily known as a golf course community, which a lot of people love it for that. And most of the homes built here, are early 2000s to about 2015. So in about that 15-year span is where the bulk of the homes were built in Salem Glen. Now, because this is at the south end of Clemmons and it's in Davidson County, it sounds like it's going to be really far from everything, but that's really not the case. Because you're in Clemmons and that is just a really well-developed suburb, you're going to be plenty close to a lot of what Clemmons has to offer, shopping, restaurants, and things like that. But if you want to get to Winston, it's still really simple as well. So say, Costco or Trader Joe's, if those are big things for you, good news, if you're down in the Salem Glen neighborhood, even though you're way down there, you're still only about 15 minutes to Costco, 15 to 20 to Trader Joe's. And if you want to go to downtown Winston-Salem, it's still only about 20 or 25 minutes away. So again, while for here, it's kind of far away, in reality, if you're not from here, a 20 or 25 minute drive or 15 minutes to get to Costco is still going to be very simple. Now, another great thing about this location, being down south, you're near Tanglewood Park. If you're into kayaking, tubing, or hiking and things like that, you're down by the Yadkin River as well. So just a lot of opportunity down here. And I just think a lot of people don't talk about Salem Glen in Clemmons enough. It's a great, great neighborhood. Now, obviously, we said it has a golf course there. It's a golf course neighborhood as well, but you also have a community pool, clubhouse. In 2025, they're going to be doing pickleball courts and a dog park there, walking trails. It's really a great place. They're really just doing some awesome improvements in the next few months too as well. And one of the best things about this, usually when people are hearing that, they're hearing, HOA bells go like, oh my gosh, this is going to be really, really expensive. The HOA here is really reasonable. It's about $50 a month. You pay it on an annual basis. And then those other things are a la carte. If you want a golf club membership, it's reasonable, but it's not mandatory to have. Same thing for those other things like, the pool and stuff like that are optional. All right, next we're going to come back north into Winston-Salem, and we're going to talk about the Huntcliff neighborhood in Winston-Salem and talk about under the radar. This one is under the radar for sure, and it just is in an excellent, excellent location in my opinion. So this is at the west edge of Winston-Salem, and when we're looking at good locations, like what are we considering? How close is it to, shopping, restaurants? What are the schools like and things like that? And this neighborhood really shines in all regards there. So Huntcliff in Winston-Salem is right off of Peace Haven. It's near Country Club Road as well. If you're not familiar, those are two main roads in the area. So it's right off of Peace Haven. It's also right near 421. So if you need to get on the highway to go into downtown or something like that, it's super simple, less than 5 minutes. But the neighborhood itself is situated in a great location as well for all the other things that we just talked about, right? Groceries, restaurants, other shopping, right within 5 to 6 minutes of Huntcliff. It's really a great spot. It also is part of one of the highest rated school districts in the entire area. Meadowlark Middle or Reagan High School are in, the Huntcliff district as well. These homes are going to be priced high 3s, low 4s, all the way up into the, mid 5s. A couple here and there will be in the $600,000 and low $600,000 range. But generally think of, that 425 to 525 range is where the bulk of these homes are going to be in here. Again, because this is an existing neighborhood, a lot of homes in late 90s to early 2000s to about 2010-ish. So these are going to have larger lots, a lot of mature trees, mature landscaping. The neighborhood itself is beautiful. Lots of people really tend to take pride in their homes in Huntcliff as well. So it's just a great spot. It has a mix of families with kids, older people without kids. It's just a really good mix, a lot of variety of different people in there as well. And while it's not the largest neighborhood in Winston-Salem, it's a smaller neighborhood. It's definitely worth thinking about if you want somewhere that in a great location with good schools, that's convenient to shopping, restaurants, and then still just, 10 to 15 minutes to get to downtown as well. It's a great spot. I have a few clients in this neighborhood as well, and they all love it for those reasons and more. All right, next we're going to head a little bit north. We're going to go to the Lockhurst neighborhood in Pfafftown. Yes, a neighborhood in Pfafftown actually made this list. So people generally ask me about Pfafftown because they look and they see you get a little bit more for the money there, and they know it's in the Reagan School District, which a lot of people want to be in, but they kind of tend to rule it out because Pfafftown itself is a little bit of a smaller town. It's, about 4,000 people, maybe a little bit less. There's not a lot of, restaurants and stuff in Pfafftown itself. It is a small town. So they tend to kind of rule that out. But I need to tell you that this is a great little gem of a neighborhood, and don't rule out Pfafftown in general. Speaking of Pfafftown and the Lockhurst neighborhood in Pfafftown, this is a great neighborhood, a little bit north of the center of Pfafftown. But speaking of location and Pfafftown, whether you should rule it out or not, it's right on the edge of Winston-Salem. So there's a new Publix that they built in Winston-Salem, kind of down by Brookberry Farm. It's, 5 or 6, maybe not even 10 minutes away from the Lockhurst neighborhood. And in that general area there are, there's other shopping, there's restaurants coming, the area is really starting to get developed. So again, because it's in Pfafftown, don't rule it out, because just, under 10 minutes away in Winston-Salem, you're going to have plenty of shopping and things like that while you're in, some of these really highly coveted school districts that a lot of people want to be in. And then even if you want to get to, Ronalda or downtown, that's really simple to get from there as well. Ronalda and things like that are, 10, 12 minutes away. Downtown Winston is a little bit further, but a lot of what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis is really convenient to get to from the Lockhurst neighborhood in Pfafftown. And this neighborhood has some really good sized lots of mature trees and landscaping. It was, really one of the higher end neighborhoods, back when it was built, again, early 2000s to about that 2010 or 2015 range. It was one of the really, high end neighborhoods for that time. So really quality built homes, custom, semi-custom and things like that in there, but they're not all on top of each other. There's plenty of different space and things like that. And, the Lockhurst neighborhood itself, right near the community pool, tennis courts, playground, things like that. So there's stuff to do like right around there immediately as well. And we mentioned the schools, you have Louisville Middle is Lockhurst goes to, and then Reagan High School as well. So highly sought after schools. And if it's outside of the Lockhurst neighborhood in Pfafftown, that's really a good area to consider. Don't write it off just because you see there's not a lot of stuff to do in Pfafftown itself. Still simple to get to, lots of other things. Next, we're going to head back down south to another new construction neighborhood. This one is called Miller's Reserve. So Miller's Reserve is built and developed by Keystone Homes, another kind of local, well-known, well-respected builder. They make quality products. They're developing Miller's Reserve. So this is located in South Winston, not way south, not down in Davidson County, Winston, but a little bit south, of downtown Winston-Salem. But this area here is really growing and developing. Don't be fooled when you look around out here and you see a lot of open space, right around you, because that's kind of where Miller's Reserve is located. There's a lot of open space. But if you just go 5 minutes east, you're going to be right near 158 with plenty of, Lowe's, home improvement stores, shopping, restaurants, and things like that. And then it is just a simple 15, 20 minutes to get to downtown Winston-Salem as well. Your trips to Whole Foods are, 15 or 20 minutes away. So it is South Winston, but still really simple to get to a lot of those other amenities that you might want to go to. Miller's Reserve, these homes are going to be priced from the high 3s, low 4s, all the way up into the 5s. But one of the things I like about Keystone Homes, I've worked with them plenty of times as well, is they have some really nice floor plans, a lot of the modern open things that people tend to like, but also some really nice things that people tend to like upgraded chef's kitchens or extra large closets or plenty of storage space. Keystone Homes is really good at doing things like that. Miller's Reserve is going to feature some sitting areas. There's going to be a dog park. Not a ton of amenities right in the neighborhood itself, but the homes right there are going to be generously sized with some really good floor plans. Consider Miller's Reserve if you're thinking about new construction and you want to be kind of down and away a little bit from the more crowded parts of Winston-Salem. Miller's Reserve could be a great option. If you're thinking about buying a home in any of these neighborhoods, I'd love to be a resource for you. You can reach out to me directly at jeff@govalentino.com. Thanks.